All right, we are officially a no grift show. The grift is over. That's it. We had a chance to get my guitar back. It's gone. Okay. When I go get another guitar, it'll be $1,000. So it'll come out of my pocket instead of $300. It would have been a lot of fun to see some busking episodes, but it's over. My account is closed. I won't be getting paid from any of my book sales either through Kindle. So that's it. Try to tell you I'm a man of my word. Maybe not a man of this fucking hairstyle. Jesus Christ, it looks like something that you get at the Dairy Queen. A little swirl on the top. Oh, what are you going to do? So I consider some things going on right now pretty important. There is somebody online. She is getting a divorce. Her husband is very powerful. I believe her name is Dita. And she's from Utah. And she is going through a Q-op right now. What is a Q-op? Q-op is questioning. It's questioning your sexuality. I went through this in 2018. People from Michigan were calling me on the phone. I talked about this in the other episode. This is what these guys are doing. They're using the Facebook app. For me, they were using Facebook. They can come in through Twitter, but I don't think they can anymore. I think that's why Elon Musk tweaked that algo. Okay, he tweaked the algo, and he got rid of everybody who were there. Who was there? You'll find out that these people were participating in the Milgram experiment, which means torturing individuals. And that's what they do, okay? I found this out. I don't want to say the hard way because I don't think it was very fair. I don't think it was very fair that I was crushed indiscriminately for about 6 years for not doing some fucking community service, that the judge considered my case to be so light in the 1990s that I was not going to Rikers Island. Okay, this is just completely false. It's fabricated, and people are in this hive mind set. I don't judge people who never crossed me. Why would I do that? I came up in the BC era before computers, okay? And people here in Heavenly Bills, California are getting ready to vote on B and C. Proposition B and C. Yeah, from the BC era. It's to make sure that the police and the fire are... It's actually, I think it's for fire EMT. And you got to pay a little bit extra money, but, you know, these guys are essential workers. I talk about police officers, but I talk about corrupt individuals. If these people aren't corrupt, why would I be talking about them? Okay? This is the hive mind. This is the group think. What group am I associated with? Well, you're associated with your family. And when you don't have that family, boom. Right? Predators come in. People try to coerce you into doing crimes. You know, I just had somebody put something on my car, and then I'm cutting through a parking lot, and then a woman comes up, "Did you like the gift?" And I had to yell and say, "It's a projection." You project that I care what you talk about. I said this on my very first episodes. I don't care. I think people who believe that they're in some gang or that they run with the set are low IQ. They are controlled by people in power. That's how the world works. Okay? Now, my wife, I was being targeted with this tech after I was working at Wellpack. I don't know if I was targeted at Wellpack or not, but I worked at Wellpack, and some very strange things were going on. The DOT shows up on a week when I just smoked some weed. The only way they would have known that is if somebody ratted me out through my phone. They were either listening or monitoring me. They would never have known. That's why they showed up at Wellpack. It cost me $2,000. So if I was being monitored because I didn't go to some fucking, which I did. I actually did. I went to my community service. The guy kept sending me home. He said, "You're late. It doesn't count." And I was there. I went there at least 4 times. And on the 4th time, I'm like, what the fuck? He keeps sending me home. I'm running to get there. He could see I'm covered in sweat. "I don't care. You're late." I mean, I was in my, I don't know if I was in my 20s or 30s. You're late for everything. In your 30s. What are you talking about? This tech is dangerous. And this girl, I think her name is Dita, from, what do you call it? Utah is going through this op. I went through it in 2018. It's horrific. It's horrific. You're making people question their sexuality. That should be an insult to the LGBT community. No. Why? Because they're all on social media, and this is how they're getting people. This is how they got this whole... They're still talking about P. Diddy down in Florida, right? In the Q-op. P. Diddy, I don't listen to his music. I'm not for him or against him. I'm using him as an example. This is why I talk about A-listers and Z-listers, because if I tell you Lucille Ball, you have a definite, a person comes to your mind and, oh, she was a Lucille Ball type, or she was, he was a, whatever, a Magnum PI type. I just saw a Magnum PI came up in the scroll. He's like, check out my garden. Yeah, whatever. I talk about things that come up in my natural scroll. I actually criticize shows that I watch, right? The train wreck that is Alex Stein. Everybody loves this show. I watch it, okay? And what he's doing is basically the Gong Show meets... I wish I remember the guy's names. There was a guy, Wally Shawn. So he's doing Wally Shawn. There was another bigger one. He had a big mouth, yelling at people. Downey Jr. or something. His name was Morton Downey. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s dad. Just kidding. He just did a documentary about his dad. I was working in Tribeca, and I looked up, and Robert Downey Jr. came running in the door. He was doing Two Girls and a Guy. Not Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. And not Two Guys and a Girl. It was called Two Girls and a Guy by James Toback. James Toback got Me Too'd. He got canceled. Okay? So there is an old Hollywood that is kind of on its way out. But the pendulum is swinging back. People are speaking up, and they're saying, we don't want this woke cancel culture. You can't cancel everything. Now take a look at Saturday Night Live. There's a comedian on there. Her name is Punky. She's very funny. She's LGBT. That's cool. Whatever. That's not part of this, but whatever. Right? She's very funny. So she goes on, and she did a segment where they were doing malapropisms, and she does them really funny. Okay, I don't do them funny. I do them just sad and tragic because I'm not smart, Mike. I'm dumb. No, wait. How does that go? Right? I talk about Fredo a lot. I talk about John Cazale. Just an amazing actor. Just his presence. Okay, he fit the type. Okay, and there was no denying what type he was. Right? And I always say, I acted like I talk about Fredo at the wedding, but John Cazale was at the wedding in The Deer Hunter. And he was gonna, people don't understand this. John Cazale, he smacked the broad. Whatever. It was the time. It was the times, man. And he was gonna shoot the guy. That's what people don't understand. They would say, well, why didn't you shoot the guy? Listen to what John Cazale says in The Deer Hunter at the wedding. That is an amazing film. I love films like that. I like 3-hour films, right? I love to watch Kill Bill, okay, as one film. Okay, they split it up because they knew that they could get the money from two different, premieres. You get double the money, whatever. I don't care. If you're a creative type like me, I don't care about money. I literally just bought a box of Lucky Charms and milk. That's what I ate. Okay? So I'm not Mr. Hey, I'm in Beverly Hills. Besides, I call Heavenly Bills. Take a look at The Deer Hunter, guys. What did John Cazale say? He smacked his wife, but he was going to shoot that guy. Okay? This is the way it was back then. I'm from the BC era before computers and blah, 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 blah. This chick is in a Q-op. It's brutal, guys. And so indiscriminately, they were running this tech. And I will never be on Instagram because of that. It looks like Twitter is kind of clear to go. Right? Twitter's clear to go. I'm not sure about this channel on YouTube. My views are being suppressed. I don't talk about getting the jab to get a job or anything like that. I have in the past, and you saw it just sink way down. You can see here my superficial videos. I created another story. It's called The Scarecrows of LA. It's when homeless people start killing people. Okay, they rise up from the streets and start killing people, right? Like, you know, you're basically taking these narratives. Now, there was it's kind of based on, there was a song, I remember I told you guys that Anthony Cumia, I watch his show. They were making fun of the guy from Off, Keith Morris. Well, they had a song called Wild in the Streets, and that was based on an actual movie, I think, where all the teenagers take over. Okay, these were these beach blanket bingo movies that were on TV, and then people like Nick Zed, in the era that I was coming up in, people like Nick Zed were making films called Geek Maggot Bingo or whatever. I think he used bingo. I'm not sure. He's no John Waters, okay? But, you know, John Waters is John Waters. You know, so I'm the son of the midnight movies. These are the films that got me interested in going to New York and working as a small-time actor, and I did. I did all that, but I did it for 10 years, right? Now, I was talking about Punky from SNL, and she does all these malapropisms. She makes really clever words out of names that she can't pronounce. This goes back to the minstrel shows. Richard Dreyfuss was just on. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with blackface. People have lost their minds, but guess what? They haven't lost their minds. This tech that we're on is exciting their nervous system, and it's geeking people out. We used to call it geeking out, right? In Nightmare Alley, the geek was something else, was an alcoholic. I could have been the geek. The geek was the eternal recurrence in Nightmare Alley. Was the eternal recurrence. He became his father. This is what I was talking about. That was the moment I had a regretful moment with Yolanda. But I don't think I deserve to be tortured for 6 fucking years. No. That doesn't even equate. That doesn't even equate to what happened. If they're giving me community fucking service. And that judge would have found out I didn't do the community service. She would have been like, do you want to go to jail or do you want to do more community service? Why don't we put you in jail for 30 days and then we'll give you some more community service? How about that? Right? That's more than likely what she would have said. Why? Because I wasn't a felon. I didn't have any felonies. Guess what, guys? I'm still not a felon. These pieces of trash were so emboldened because I know how to keep my mouth shut and I don't say anything, guys. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing about nothing except the use. Yeah, how's it going? No more donations, guys. I am the real thing, not Coke or Coca-Cola. You better know that's right. I keep trying to tell you. I can pick up my guitar and I can write songs. Take a look at my episode. It's called Acoustapunk. I cry and I punch a chair. It's okay. It's okay to show emotions. Okay? But what it's not okay to do is to use this tech. This woman is going through this right now. She just cut off all her hair. And she's talking about women. And guess what? She has children and a very powerful husband. This husband runs with a crew. If you can imagine what crews are in Utah, I think you know what I'm talking about. She is going through this right now. And why the LGBT community isn't standing up and angry about this, right? If people are having sex with partners that they wouldn't normally have sex with, isn't that going to start spreading some disease? Germaphobes? Is it going to start spreading some disease? Causing some problems? Causing some conflict? When somebody wakes up and they realize, like, what the hell was that? Where are they running Q-ops on Diddy? Down in Florida. Where are they getting Bam Margera's money? Down in Florida. What does Bam Margera want to do? He wants to get into a fist fight. That's the first thing I want to do because your fight or flight is affected. Right now, I don't know if you guys can see this. You probably can't see it, but I got some stiff muscles right here. It's so bad. My muscles are so stiff right here that I can't turn my neck. I noticed that when I was driving, it was a big problem. I got a CDL, so I can get a job. I'm not worried about it. That's why I'm not worried about it. I had a couple of these creeps roll up on me. They were doing this stuff in Michigan. They roll up hard on you. Like, okay. Like I said, a lady goes, "Did you like our gift? Our gift? What are you, in a hive mind?" Yes, they are. And they're going to start using narcissism as a medical determination. You've got acute narcissistic syndrome. And guess who they can ascribe that to? Every single person who is online. It is so indiscriminate. It's just sad. It's sad that people are buying into this. Like I said, I'm no paparazzi. I can't run up to somebody and just throw my camera in their face. I can't do that. I don't know what kind of person can do that. I guess it's just like anything. After the more you do it. Right? I was at this trucking company. I go inside to take a leak, and they snip. Somebody got under my car, and they snipped the fucking fan belt. That's what they did. Because my fan belt can't go bad in the 5 minutes it took me to go inside and take a piss. I told you they were locking bathrooms. I had friends of mine actually actively telling me something was going on without telling me what it was. Maybe something on World Star Hip Hop. That's what they do when they run game on you. Okay? That's not what my show's about. I don't run with a set. I don't go around with these fake tattoos. Okay? I don't participate in these LARPs. And I told you, this tech is deadly and it's dangerous. If they use this tech on you, you're frozen. When I was at the old Miami and they were using this tech, the same tech that they were using down in Florida, when I got back in 2018 and I was still making those videos, and they were mostly on Facebook, and they were just I was just kind of really out of it. I just remember being so out of it. I told you guys in another episode, these Illinois, quote unquote, Illinois Nazis, ew. I mean, that's literally from like, from Blues Brothers, okay? Like, come on, dude. They show you in the Blues Brothers. You got country bars. Don't forget, CBGB's was a country bar, okay? That's what CBGB stands for. And by the time I went to New York, there was no fucking CBGB's. I went to that place literally, I think, twice. I wasn't going there. It's just so cliche. I actually went to go see D-Generation once. That was it. Because they were like a big band, and I don't know, I just kind of wanted to see them. I had seen Jane's Addiction. Now you can see Jane's Addiction. He came out in a girdle, right? And he was, I don't know if, it's not gender fluid, but they were trying to be shocking. Take a look at Kurt Cobain. A couple of shows he just came out in a dress just to be stupid and funny and goofy. If you know anything about AC/DC, you know Bon Scott was wearing a dress, and that's why Angus Young dressed like a schoolboy, because Bon Scott, he put on drag as to be a goof, right? A lot of guys were doing that back then. That's why I don't understand this. The New York Dolls were out. Some Girls by the Rolling Stones were out. Take a look at my playlist, guys. Take a look at my playlist. Suicide ops are confirmed. I told you they were running suicide ops on me. I told you that. Roseanne Barr. Now, I have to admit, I was trolling Roseanne, and I didn't believe her at first when she said that they wouldn't let her do that show. I actually am more apt to believe her now. I'm sorry. I just had to question. I had to question it because of some other things that she was saying. Like, I thought for sure it was just basically she really didn't want to do the show, and they had to try to find a reason. But it looks like she was right. She was canceled. She was canceled because of something that she said. And it's really, it's pretty disgusting. Okay, so I can understand being canceled online, where everybody shit talks you, right? Underneath your post, you put up a stupid post. Everybody shit talks you under that post. Okay, post is over. Now you're post. And you try to get something up there post haste, right? And so now you have to compensate for that, and you have to put on your thread or whatever, hey man, I didn't mean it like that. Or, hey, well, you know what? Maybe I used the wrong terms. I apologize. But it looks like they ran suicide ops on her. Take a look at, she does an interview on Megyn Kelly. Roseanne Barr on Megyn Kelly, I put it on my playlist. I made it a brand new playlist just for you suicide ops. Oh yeah, that's what they did to me. She goes, they wanted me to commit suicide. She came out and said it. Roseanne Barr did. That's what they did to me down in Florida. It was brutal. And they continued this. And they were doing it willy-nilly all during my tenure in New York City. Oh yeah. Are you insane? I think these people are. They're participating in the Milgram experiment, and it's super duper dangerous. Okay? So you know me, I talk about a lot of stuff on this show. Okay? I talk about these murders, these mob murders. How much you want to bet a lot of innocent people went to prison for some fucking mob murder? What do they say in The Departed? I always use my real life. I use film, right? I'm not going to use really too many literary references, right? I mostly use film references. I've been going to the film since I was 11 years old by myself, to the cinema, I mean. Don't forget, one of my earliest memories was a murder at the cinema. Behind the cinema, some kid shot some other kid right in the head. What happened to my first drummer, Terry Moran? Shot in the head. What happened to the kid from the Feisty Cadavers? Shot and killed. Right in my parents' neighborhood. I had moved out. That's where Harpo's was. Right? So I talk about this stuff. Take a look at The Departed, guys. What does he do? What is he laughing at? What is the Matt Damon character laughing at? He's laughing about setting up a Greek guy. He's laughing about George Pappas. Oh yeah, we put a gun in his trunk and then he had a heart attack in county jail. He's laughing about it. Good old George Pappas, the Greek guy. Who killed Whitey Bulger? Who allegedly killed Whitey Bulger? A Greek guy. That movie's about Whitey Bulger. Guys, everybody knows it. Okay? I thought Jack Nicholson's acting was a little over the top. Of course, it had some beautiful moments. It was a beautiful film. You couldn't deny it. I mean, just everything about it was very beautiful. And I always talk about Henry Hill because he had actually outlived Ray Liotta. When I was coming up working with Lee Sobel of Rockabilly Vampires fame, he used to talk about Ray Liotta all the time. Ray Liotta had just kind of come out. He had just done a couple of things. And don't forget, he worked with Jonathan Demme. Jonathan Demme's nephew, Ted Demme, I did 2 jobs with him. Did I tell you the Robert Downey Jr. story? Anyways, he just came in the same building. They were shooting the James Toback film. I only saw him. I didn't see the chicks. I wish I would have saw the girls in the film, right? But I didn't. I just saw him. He was there. He was there with the guy who was watching him to make sure he didn't do any drugs. He had a babysitter or whatever. But anyway, so got a lot going on. Still, I just started Linoleum Blown Apart. Okay? I'm on like the 3rd or 4th page. Okay? This is going up on Kindle. And as soon as I'm done with this initial draft, it's going up on Kindle, but you can't pay me anymore. That's it. I have no way of getting any money. I'm not going to get any money from Kindle until I can open up another bank account. I don't have a bank account. I don't have any money. They sabotaged my car. I don't. Like I said, I keep going, man. I ate a half a box of cereal. It tasted so good. I'm like back to eating cold cereal and whole milk. I call it moo juice. Yeah. All right. So this is what I wanted to talk about. These suicide ops are very true and real, and they are brutal. And when I came out the other side, I thought all that was over, but I never said nothing, guys. I kept my mouth closed. And then sure enough, here this guy in Romulus, Michigan sets me up with dope. And then thank God that that COVID hit. Thank God for COVID. I mean, I'll probably die of it because I actually have that. I can't talk about it. Sorry, I can't talk about it. But you know me, I'm nothing but honest. But I'll probably, I don't know much. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Thank you very much for watching my show. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.